Hey Flyers, I'm Lauren Lindsey.
And I'm Julia Smith.
Welcome back to this week's Rundown for Friday, October 11, 2019.
Loyola had a very special guest Monday morning as our United States Senator Bill Cassidy came to visit our AP U.S. government classes.
Wes Barlow gives us an inside look on this once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Earlier this week, Loyola welcomed a special guest on campus as Louisiana's U.S. Senator Bill Cassidy came to speak to Ms. Fox's AP government students. Students were able to ask questions and participate in discussions that helped them better understand how our nation's government works.
You know, when I was in high school, I always imagined, I was always interested in public service, but at some point I decided to go to medical school, and I just dreamed about being a doctor. And so even though I thought, wouldn't it be fun to be a president or a senator or a representative or a governor, it was actually medicine that kind of absorbed me. And then at some point in medicine, once more it came back up. So you can see the seeds there, but they didn't sprout until probably my late 40s.
I think it was a moment in history for us and good for our kids to see democracy is something you have to work at. Like Ben Franklin said, we created a republic if you can keep it. We only keep it if the kids understand how important it is because it's their legacy, and we want them to love the country and understand the complexities of the country, and we made a step in the right direction last week.
It was a really good experience just being able to see our senator come talk to us, and he was very well spoken when he talked to us. He knew how to connect to us and how to really engage us in his conversation.
You're our future. One of you will be me. One of you will, 40 years from now, be speaking to a group like this, speaking about how you heard me, but now you're speaking to this group. And that's the way our country has worked since its founding, where you just pass the baton one generation to the next. And it's always worked. But the degree to which I can help it work, I'm going to do whatever I can, because you are our future.
What an amazing once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This has been Wes Barlow.
Thanks, Wes, and a special thanks to Senator Cassidy for coming to Loyola.
Have you ever wondered what it would be like to go to school with your parents every day?
M. Hussein shows us how our students feel seeing their moms more than usual.
Hey everyone, we're all one big family here at Loyola, but let's go take a closer look at the Johnson family.
I really like having Lacey and Leslie here. Obviously, I feel like Loyola is the best school, so I know they're getting the best education. I feel like I finally know their schedules and know what's going on. Sometimes we have to work really hard to set boundaries. I try not to go and just randomly talk to them or ask them questions when I need them. And then when they vent sometimes when they've had a bad day, I have to remind them that I can be mom and not assistant principal. So
I like it because this time is very short. In 2.5 years they're going to be off to college. So, and that's what I hear. Our other friends complain about that they don't get to see their kids as much, but I get to see my kids like every day, and it's pretty cool. Unlike my wife, I will if they don't talk to me in public, I will embarrass them. I will chase them down, make loud noises until they say hello to their father here at school, but I love it.
Let's see how Leslie and Lacey feel about having their parents here.
Sometimes I like having my parents here because, my dad will have snacks in his office, or if I need anything I can go to my mom's office. But then sometimes it's not so great because my dad will purposely try and embarrass me, and I can't get away with anything because my parents are here. So I like having my parents here because if I forget anything, they'll always have what I need, or I can always go to their office for help. But I don't like having them here because if I ever need to check out, if I'm sick or forget to study for a test, then they can't leave work, so I have to stay here. I guess overall I enjoy having them here.
Thanks guys. Loyola is truly one big family. This has been M. Hussein.
Thanks, M. We love our Flyer families.
Last night, the Flyers took on Green Oaks in the first district game of the year.
Mary Rose Desautel has the details on last night's game and other sports.
It was a thrilling night at Northwood Stadium last night as Loyola beat Green Oaks to win the district opener. The Flyers were down 22-7, but rallied to take a 36-28 win and raise their record to 5-1. Loyola outscored Green Oaks 29-6 over the final 25 minutes. Loyola came up with 2 blocked punts that set up touchdowns. Trey Taylor caught a 31-yard pass from Jacob Lafitte just before halftime, and then the Flyers scored on a 47-yard run by Michael Key to start the second half. Matt Monsoor added 2 field goals, and Lafitte had the winning touchdown on a 9-yard run with 4 minutes and 32 seconds to play in the game. Coach Stephen Jeter was thrilled with how his team rallied to win the game.
Our offensive line has been the strength of our offense, and I challenged them in the second half, and we had to be able to run the football. And I think part of that comes down to our conditioning and stuff that we put in during the year, but it also just comes down to those guys just showing a little grit.
The volleyball team has a few days off before they begin a busy few weeks. Earlier this week, they achieved their first district win over North Caddo. They will play another district game against Manny on Tuesday. Congratulations to the Loyola cross country team for an unforgettable race at the KSA Cross Country Classic in Orlando. Will Dark came in first place, and both Elliott White and Bridget John set up new PRs in against top competitors from Florida and other states. In swimming, Catherine Bush got first place in the 100 back, and Jonathan English received first place in 200 freestyle at the centenary meet. Blaine Jeter and Mbeth Coyle also received personal records in multiple events. That's all for the Flyers Sports Report. I'm Mary Rose Desautels.
Thanks, Mary Rose, and go Flyers.
Have you ever seen Vogue's 73 question interviews?
Of course.
Well, if you haven't, it's an interview about celebrities' lives in 73 questions.
We may not have celebrities at our school, but our teachers are as close as we can get.
Before we go, Kennedy Carter and Gray Hodges gives us a Loyola edition of Our Teacher Celebrities in our new segment, 21 Questions.
Girl, I got a question for you. Can I get an answer?
What's up? Hey, are you ready to start 21 questions?
Sure,
first time? So how did you start your day this morning?
Started out...
Great, on to the second question.
So I don't get to answer that one?
Who's your best friend here at Loyola?
Best friend at Loyola. That's tough. Spend the most time with the football coaches and stuff like that, so that's always good. And then the English department is full of great people. There's no way I would be able to pick just one, so I don't know that I can fully answer that one.
What's your favorite part about teaching?
Favorite part about teaching, I guess, would be just impacting lives. When I got into teaching and coaching, that always was the plan, is that I wanted to be around people and interact and really impact someone's life.
Well, speaking of, do you have a favorite class at Loyola?
Oh, definitely second period. Second period allows me to relax a little bit. And, I don't have to do too much. I can get ready for my next one, but second period is definitely the best.
How do you feel knowing that the new sophomore honors English and senior AP English teacher, Amy Hodges, is already better than you?
It's good. It's good that they have her, because I'm sure that students are lying to her and tell her that I didn't teach them anything, so it's a good thing that they get her.
Many students say that you look like a high schooler. What are your thoughts on that?
I'll take it. I guess they think that that's kind of a burn on me, but when you tell a 33-year-old that they look young, that's not a bad deal. So I'll take it. There's nothing wrong with that.
All right, moving on to the more personal questions. Are you ready?
Sure. Does that count as a question?
No. Are you married?
I am married. I got married in March.
How was the wedding?
It was excellent. A lot of good people, friends and family I hadn't seen in a long time, so that was awesome.
What's your favorite food?
Anything with chicken, and I don't think anybody can disagree with that. Anything with chicken is good.
That's true, but some people might try to find a way. What season do you look forward to most, football or lacrosse?
That's like comparing apples to grapes. There's really no, football starts out hot and then gets cold, and then lacrosse starts out cold and gets hot. So the weather's nice for both, and the personalities are completely different, so I couldn't pick one.
Mm-hmm. Too true. What does your day look like after teaching and coaching?
There's not much of a day left after that. So usually I'll watch film from football practice. And since Ms. Johnson and Coach Blanc will probably see this, I do lesson plans and grade every single paper right on time. And then all that while my wife is watching every show on Bravo.
Well, with what little time you do have left, what's your favorite way to spend it?
Probably doing nothing. Staring at the wall is always a good hobby of mine.
How does it feel calling shots on the offense for the first time?
It's good. It's nerve-wracking, but with responsibility that's going to come, and I have great people around me with Coach Jeter, Coach Maxey, Coach Harris, Coach Lewis, all on the offensive side, so they help me out a lot.
If you could choose a different profession, what would it be?
Probably stand-up comedy. you know, because I'm probably the funniest person I know. And so, in all honesty, I do enjoy like the building of a joke and being clever. So I would probably be a stand-up comic.
Well, stand-up comedy would suit you well. But moving on to more serious things, what would you say to your younger self right now?
With all that with stand-up comedy, I would say actually to be more serious because I do like to joke around and not be serious all the time. And then when I do try to be genuine and serious, people don't take me seriously, and so that kind of gets me in trouble sometimes.
How do you come up with your random journal prompts?
You know, that comes from a lot of different places. Sometimes they come to me in a dream, you know, or, you know, students will ask me a question about, you know, how do I feel about something, and that's a good point. Some I find online, and some I'm just very observant. Like, I asked with my small groups during a retreat, you know, how do they tie their shoes? And you find out everyone has a unique way to tie their shoes. It's all different. And so some of them just come to me like that.
So what do you plan on doing when you retire?
I don't necessarily have a plan. But I'd like to be a crossing guard to where I'm not doing too much, but I get to interact with everyone and still see people.
So what's your dream vacation?
Dream vacation would have to be somewhere on or near water, you know, and I was lucky enough to be able to go on my honeymoon on a cruise and go to different places overseas, and so that was awesome.
So if you could live anywhere, then where would that be?
I don't know, it may be kind of boring, but I would say maybe Hawaii, because the weather is always I was able to go to Hawaii when I worked for Louisiana Tech with the football team, and the weather was perfect, and there's water, and you're separated enough from the States to where you're kind of in your own world, so that was kind of nice.
So on a scale of like 1 to 10, how honored are you to be the first teacher ever featured on our new segment?
That's awesome. You know, if you can't tell from my facial expression or my tone of voice, I'm at about a 15 right now, so it was very enjoyable.
Thank you very much. You mind walking us out?
Yeah, I gotta get out now. I got a class coming, and so we gotta get started. This was second period, so it was fun.